absolutely fine and legal to buy the weight loss jab online?
I personally know of people who send in photographs of other people just to get the weight loss drugs.
I'm no doctor, but that's not good.
We don't know fully the very long-term side effects of these drugs.
I feel like we haven't really talked about that as a society.
That menobelly is the hardest thing to That's what it's called.
If you go on a diet, you are fighting against your natural survival instinct.
I do feel a bit like I'm on a game show on a quick fire round.
No margaritas and nachos for me.
What if women like a bit of manscaping?
Yes! If you had a weight problem, would you take it? Hello, I'm Cherry Healey. You might recognise me from a show called Inside the Factory, where I say wow a lot. I am so passionate about talking more openly about health issues. You know, those things that we end up by Googling at 3 a.m. and go down a really awful spiral into a dark place. Those things that you are really worried about, but you feel is too silly to ask a GP.
And I'm Dr. Amir Khan, a GP in Bradford, and you might know me from the television. Every week, I'll cut through the myths and give you straight, trusted advice.
This is your weekly check-in with the doctor.
And I can't believe I'm saying this, but no appointment necessary.
You know how you say you're a doctor?
Yeah.
Are you a real doctor?
I get asked that all the
You
time.
download a certificate off the internet.
I know! But I am a real doctor. I've been to university. I've done all the training. People think I've given up like actual medicine now that I'm on the TV. I still work in the same practice I've been at for 15 years.
So you're still doctor during the week?
I'm still doctor during the week.
Can we just talk for 1 second about something that's happened that's really... What's going on here? Where is the Tash? I was so looking forward to meeting the Tash.
Because it was getting so much flack online. I put it out on my Instagram and I said, right, let's do a poll. Over 500,000 people said, get rid of it. I've never had a poll like that before.
Wow.
307 people said, keep it.
People weren't unsure of that, were
No,
they?
and they did not hold back. In our heads, we all look like Magnum PI when we've got a moustache. Is that not true?
I don't think it is.
I was like Bradford's from Magnum PI.
I think maybe only Tom Selleck looks like Magnum PI with a moustache. Everyone else looks a little bit suspect.
Suspect, yeah.
Well, look, I'm really sorry that the Tash has gone.
Me too.
But it is now time for your weekly check-in. So for our weekly check-in, we're talking about a subject which all my friends are talking about, and it's in the papers, it feels like daily, the weight loss jab.
Yeah. Everyone's talking about it. Even at my work, at the GP surgery.
Really?
Patients are coming in for it, asking about it. Half of the staff are on it. So, yes.
What is it? Will you just tell us a little bit, what is it? What is it meant to do? How does it work? Side effects?
So, when we eat meals, particularly those with carbohydrates in, our guts make hormones called incretin hormones. And part of those hormones are ones called GLP-1, which is what these injections are based on. And there's other ones as well, GIP. And these are like messenger hormones. So you eat a meal, these hormones go over to your pancreas and say, right, start making insulin because carbohydrates are about to enter the bloodstream and we need to break them down. Once they've done that, they go up to the brain and they say, we've just eaten something, so you need to send fullness signals down to us so we don't keep eating. Once we're full, we're full. And it switches off our hunger hormones as well. Then it goes back to the gut and slows down the movement of food in the gut so you stay fuller for longer so you can get all that digestion process done. So what these jabs do are they're just a synthetic version of these hormones.
Right.
So you inject yourself with this hormone, it does all those things, breaks down your carbohydrates, keeps you full, switches off your hunger, and slows down the movement of food in your gut.
Whether there's food or not. So all those mechanics are going on in your body, whether you've had lots to eat or not. So you feel full, but you haven't actually eaten a lot.
This is what this goes back to, is we don't know fully the very long-term side effects of these drugs.
But hasn't it been used for diabetes for, how long has it been used?
Probably about 9 years, I would say. I would have to look it up for sure, but not that long. Not that long.
There is some you must have like some idea of how it impacts the body. But
Well,
is that just not very long in medical
it's not
research
very long.
times?
We want to look at it from 20 years
Right.
plus. That's the long-term kind of effects, and we just haven't got that data yet.
So you've been working with diabetes patients for a long time. So you've seen how people react to it and respond to it. So it does feel like it's safe because you've seen how it works with people.
Well, every drug has side effects. No drug is completely safe, and we can't predict how someone's going to respond to a drug, whether they'll get the side effects or not. But yes, I've been using them for years to treat type 2 diabetes, and before they were even known to cause the weight loss, we were prescribing them, and we found people's blood sugars coming down and their weight coming down. And as that evidence grew, they then became licensed for weight loss. When we're prescribing any medication, but particularly these drugs, it's always about weighing up the benefits versus the risks. And for most people with obesity-related issues or where weight is having an impact on their health, the benefits do outweigh the risks. And so we tell them about the risks and we prescribe it. The grey area is when people use them simply to look better or perhaps feel better. And that's where you have to debate, are the risks outweighing the benefits?
What are the risks?
Okay, so the really common risks are, because remember, it slows down that movement of food in your gut. You could get diarrhea, you could get constipation, you get lots of gas as well, nausea, acid. Those are really common. Expect to get them. Most people do get them. Then remember, it is stimulating the pancreas to produce insulin. Anything that stimulates the pancreas can cause something called pancreatitis. Now, that is a rare but known side effect. It's inflammation of the pancreas. It's potentially life-threatening.
Pancreatitis is really serious, isn't it?
It's a rare side effect, We haven't got absolute numbers because, again, these drugs haven't been around for that long. It is rare, but I always warn my patients when I'm prescribing it for them, if you get sudden onset tummy pain, particularly in the top of your stomach, that's going round to your back, if it's accompanied by nausea, either come back and see me immediately, don't wait for an appointment, or go straight to A&E. And the other thing it can exacerbate is gallstones. So that's another big thing. And in animals, we've seen an increased risk of thyroid cancer as well. So if you've got a history of thyroid cancer, no for you.
So for most people who are really, really want to lose weight and it's really serious and they are suffering from being overweight, the risks are worth the reward.
Yeah.
But is your concern for people who just want to lose a few pounds for summer?
Yes.
And how often is that really happening? And don't you have to get it prescribed by a doctor? So therefore, wouldn't that doctor not prescribe it to that person?
Lots of people are getting it from online pharmacies. And that's where issues can come in because they don't have to see you in person. There's lots of things you might have to do before you get a prescription. So you might have to take a photograph of yourself, your face, your body on a weighing scales. But that could be a photograph of anyone. They haven't seen you before. I personally know of people who send in photographs of other people and pretend it's them just to get the weight loss drugs so they can be thin for a wedding or for a holiday.
I'm really surprised at this.
Are you surprised?
I am actually. I'll tell you why, because I get UTIs all the time. Getting antibiotics for that is unbelievably difficult if the GP isn't around or can't see me. So the idea that you can get this, I'm assuming, is quite a strong, potent drug that has really dangerous side effects, you can get that easier than I can get antibiotics.
But the difference is they're paying for it.
So is it absolutely fine and legal to buy the weight loss jab online?
It is legal, it is fine, but lots of pharmacies are now saying to people, selling it in a way that almost sounds shameful. We will send you these drugs in nondescript packaging. Nothing will be labelled. No one will know you're taking these drugs. And they send it away. And I think that adds to the stigma of taking these drugs.
I feel like it's like buying a Class A drug. Don't worry, we won't show anyone. Yeah. It's like it's either it's okay and it's above board or it's not. Although I do understand there is still a lot of stigma around a weight loss jab because people think it's cheating. But I feel like as a professional body, as a pharmacy...
Yeah.
It's either okay or it's not okay. And how much is it to go private and to get it online?
Well, the cost of the drug is usually between £90 to £150. There's several of these drugs that are licensed for weight loss. So Wegovy and Mounjaro are the two most common ones. Wegovy is about 90 to 150 pounds. Mounjaro
For like what? For how long?
for 4 weeks. So you get one pen
Right.
which
Gosh, that's
has
a lot,
4
isn't it?
doses in it, and you inject once a week, and so it's
Right.
4 doses. Mounjaro, the price has just gone up, so lots of people will have been taking it because of lots of issues around prices across Europe, prices in the US. They're trying to even out the price, and so privately for Mounjaro, the price has gone up to almost £300. So if you're on it and you were paying £100 for it, and you might not be able to afford £300. So either you switch to Wegovy, which isn't as effective as Mounjaro, because Mounjaro has 2 hormones in it, GLP-1 and GIP, whereas Wegovy only has GLP-1. And the difference is about 22% weight loss compared to 10 or 15%. So
I imagine most people will just switch to the cheaper one.
if they can't afford it, or they might stop altogether, in which case, if they haven't done the nutrition, the movement, the sleep, the stress management, that weight's just going to come back
Is
on.
that the case? So if, let's say you do it, how long do people take the weight loss drugs in general? What are you supposed to do?
So when I prescribe it, I start on the lowest dose first for the first 4 weeks. That's not because of anything apart from to minimise side effects.
Right.
And I don't expect them to lose that much weight in that time. And then we increase the dose to the maintenance dose. So if it's Mounjaro, start on 2.5 milligrams, move over to 5 milligrams after that first month. Usually the weight starts to come off in that second and third month.
Right.
And people are over the side effects, those kind of gastro side effects I talked about, and then they
do go, those side effects. Does the body just get used
most
to it?
people's bodies just get used to it, and they come through the other side of after those first 4 weeks. The other big thing I have to tell people about when I'm prescribing these drugs is the loss of muscle, because you're not just losing fat, you're losing muscle as well. So you've got to increase your protein intake, and you've got to do strength training.
Why are you also losing muscle?
Any rapid weight loss, whether it's through movement, sleep, nutrition, any rapid weight loss will cause muscle loss.
Now, if you're just taking it because you want to lose weight for aesthetics, how long can someone be on it forever?
So the nice guidance, or the guidance is maximum 2 years that they're on it for. But everything should be caveated with all that holistic support. So you shouldn't really be on these medications, and they are medication, without having some nutritional advice, movement advice, sleep, stress advice, all of that.
What's funny is I know that we're all talking about it, and I've got 2 friends who are on it and love it. It's really strong. Like the fact that it stops your appetite. I feel like we haven't really talked about that as a society. Like, it's not just like it's a headache pill, or it's the fact that it stops your appetite and affects your whole digestion. These are strong drugs.
Yeah, absolutely. It's affecting your digestion.
I still can't get over the fact that you can buy it online.
You can buy it online.
So cross. God, if they saw me trying to get antibiotics, you could just buy it online.
Privately, there's a profit-making machine, isn't there? There are companies making huge profits from these drugs. Yes, obesity is a national crisis. About 28% of people in the UK are obese, 36% overweight. So we do have issues. And these drugs do help those people, but they don't tackle the root causes of obesity.
Which are what?
Which are nutrition. So we're not being taught about food when we're children in schools. If you compare it to somewhere like Japan, which have much lower obesity rates, they have nutritionists and dietitians in schools teaching children about food and healthy relationships with food from a very young age. And those children get used to eating highly nutritious food all the time. We don't have any of that. I mean, when do people do home economics now in school? Very rarely. They have to choose to do it, and they do it much later on in their childhood, right?
Remember, home ec was really fun because you got to eat the end of the lesson. It was really fun, but you didn't really learn about nutrition.
No. So we're not learning about that. Exercise almost feels like a chore for people, right? Something you have to do rather than what you want to do.
And schools are chopping that out of the curriculum more and more.
And then you've got the whole thing around ultra-processed foods and the marketing and how tasty they are and how they make you come back for more and how they're advertised. All of that feeds into this national obesity crisis.
So if someone has taken the weight loss jab and they've lost lots of weight and they're feeling fantastic, what is the likelihood is that they wean themselves off or they stop cold turkey and it all just comes back on, and then they're in a never-ending cycle?
Yeah.
And is this wonderful for the pharmaceutical companies? They're like,
it's
woo-hoo!
great. Most people who live with obesity have struggled with weight all their lives. And that's a really difficult position
And it's
to be
miserable.
in. It's miserable. And you'll see people who don't live in larger bodies saying, well, just eat less or exercise more.
I mean,
No. But our studies show, so we've got really robust twin studies which show that between 40 and 70% of obesity is genetic. It's
Right.
not the food you eat, it's not how much you move, it's genetic. And we've got over 1,000 genes inside of us that control our appetite, our hormones, all of those things that link how much we eat and how full we are. What makes you full will be very different to what makes
Yeah.
me full. And that isn't necessarily the size of our bodies or stomachs, it's our hormones inside of us.
so interesting to understand, because I think that allows people to be empathetic as opposed to hideously judgmental.
Yeah.
Realistically, I think for most women, it's yes, it's the health issue, but it's also just you just feel rubbish about yourself.
feel rubbish.
So I love that there's an option for people that is going to free them from that. So there's a term that's been used with the weight loss jab, which I really love, is food noise.
Yeah.
What is food noise?
So in our brains, we've got these hormones. So we've got something called ghrelin, which makes us hungry, and leptin, which makes us full. And the food noise relates back to these two hormones. So when you might be, let's say you're on a diet, and whenever I try and restrict my food, all I can think about is food.
Oh,
food.
it's like don't think of a carrot. Well,
yeah.
I mean, we're all thinking of carrots.
Yes.
Everyone in the world is now
Exactly.
thinking of carrots.
And that's
You're
what
welcome.
food noise. That's what food noise is. It's that hormone ghrelin which makes you hungry, saying you need to eat.
Right.
It's not about how full you are or how many nutrients you need. It's just this hormone saying you need to eat.
So it's not like a lack of discipline, and it's not a mental state. It's actually a chemical reaction.
It's a chemical reaction. And
I love that it sounds a bit like Gremlin. So we've got, I know that Gremlin.
Yes!
My
Yes,
Gremlin
it
hits
does.
at about 9 p.m. It's like, wow, let's get the biscuits out.
What makes it really hard, though, is this idea of a set point theory. I don't know if you know about this. So
Wait a second, it sounds academic. Hang on.
yes.
I'm ready.
Strap in.
Bring it.
So when we trying to lose weight, our body is almost fighting against it. So you might think, right, I need to watch what I'm eating, I need to move more, all of these things that are going to help me lose weight. But inside your body is almost like a thermostat when it comes to weight, a set point which it will defend against to stop you from losing any more weight. Because when you lose
Right.
weight, it will think, oh, this is a threat to my survival. So what it does is it increases that ghrelin, the hunger hormone. It decreases leptin, which keeps you full. It slows down your metabolism.
God, this is so annoying.
Yes. What's worse is it will switch up or ramp up your reward system. So if you do eat something perhaps sugary or fatty,
like
it will go.
best
It will
thing
make you
ever.
feel amazing, which is why you feel amazing when you're restricting food and you eat something that you've been restricting, and it more efficiently holds onto your fat. So all those people who say, "Oh, I lost weight initially, but now I can't lose any more weight," is because they're fighting against this set point theory.
So it's not just one of those anecdotal things. This is scientifically backed.
Yeah.
That if you go on a diet, you are fighting against the tide.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're fighting against your natural survival instincts, which is so powerful.
Yes. And I think what I must caveat this with is that it's not inevitable. You can't then not lose weight beyond that, but you do have to work harder to get past that. So to access these drugs on the NHS, right now they've prioritised the most at-risk group of people. So they are people with a BMI of 40 or above and 4 out of 5 weight-related conditions. So that's cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, sleep apnea and abnormal fat. So you have to have 4 out of 5 of them and a BMI of 40 or above.
What is a BMI of 40 and above? So I'm 5'4".
Yeah.
What size would I have to be to access this medication?
For you would need to have a weight of around 17 stones.
17 stones.
Doesn't stop there, Cherry. And 4 out of 5 of those health-related conditions. I understand the priority, but it's a very, very rigid guideline. So if you don't fall into that category, you can't get it for weight loss in England on the NHS. And I think weight is really interesting because you can be technically overweight and have a high BMI, but actually be cardiovascularly very healthy. And on the flip side of that, I've seen patients who are slim, thin, have a normal BMI, but are actually very unfit and couldn't walk up a flight of stairs. And that's not because of a medical condition, it's just because they're cardiovascularly unfit.
It's a system absolutely chock-a-block, like it's full?
It's full. It's full. It's access to the drugs, it's access to the staff and these services. All of those things are backlogged right
So
now.
then do those people find a way to pay for it privately?
Well, where I work in Bradford, it's a really socially deprived area, so they can't and they just suffer. So you see now this wealth and health divide getting wider and wider and wider because those who can afford it will just buy it, and those who can't get sicker and sicker and sicker until their BMI is 40, until they have got sleep apnea. It's a real pain.
If you had a weight problem, would you take it?
It depends on how big a weight problem that was. If I had weight-related health conditions, yes, I would. If I was just overweight with no health-related issues as a result of that, and that's very hard to define because lots of people have mental health issues as a result of their weight, I would not take it.
Really?
I really wouldn't, because I don't think in that situation, and I say the same to my patients, the risks don't outweigh the benefits.
How interesting. So I've got two friends who would say that they were overweight and I've definitely seen them suffer. You know, they've tried everything. I think especially when you become perimenopausal and menopausal, it's incredibly hard to lose weight.
Very different. It's very
Really
different after the
difficult.
menopause because before the menopause, estrogen helps deposit your fat around your thighs and hips. After the menopause, without that estrogen, it's all going around your tummy.
Is that what it is?
Yes. And that is the hard, that menobelly is the hardest thing to shit. That's what it's called, the menobelly. But I think what you've highlighted there is the difference perhaps between men and women. You know, I would feel different, whereas women have this huge societal pressure.
There's also people who say, oh, but it's cheating. What do you think about that?
People who say that don't understand the complexities of obesity. They just don't get it. I see it in clinic. You know, I see patients coming in telling me that all their lives they've been overweight or obese, and as a result, everything just gets blamed on it. They come in with joint pains. Oh, it's because you're overweight. They come in with hormonal issues. Oh, it's because you're overweight. They come in with fertility issues. Oh, it's because you're overweight. And they get told, you can't have a referral, you can't have these drugs, you can't have this, that, and the other until you lose weight. And then it comes to a point where they don't bother coming to see us because they know every time they come in, one of us are going to say, oh, well, you just need to lose weight. Lots of people think that weight is just related to how many calories you take in, how much you move. Nothing could be further from the truth, actually. We've got this really robust twin studies that were done over years that show us that obesity and weight is 40 to 70% genetic.
That is a huge statistic. Does that mean that if you are obese, that it's actually almost impossible for you to get out of that situation?
Nothing is impossible. We have over 1,000 genes inside of us that govern how much we eat, what our appetite is, how full we feel. What will keep you full will be very different to what keeps me full. And it's not necessarily the size of our stomachs. It's all the hormones that work alongside the food that we eat. So these people will have to work so much harder. Their hormones will be different. The way they deposit fat will be different. How quickly they digest their food will be different. And that isn't because of what they're eating. It's how their body composite is.
So important to understand that, because I think the lack of empathy that we have had as a society towards people who are struggling with their weight is so horrendous. But I think that understanding that it is a genetic thing, like you're predisposed to it and you're fighting against the tide, is so helpful for that person psychologically to know that it's not, that they're not a bad person.
No.
All right, so that is everything you need to know about the weight loss jab. Dr. Amir, it's time for Chat GP. Beep, beep, beep. These are all the questions that people are worried about, but they just don't feel like they're quite serious enough to go and see a GP. But it's something that's bothering them day to day.
Yeah.
And we need the answers.
That's what I'm here for. No appointment necessary. I do feel a bit like I'm on a game show on a quick fire round, but let's do it.
I really wish I had some prizes, but I don't. I've got some really nice cake.
Oh, I want a buzzer. Get me a buzzer
if you get it right. I'll get you a buzzer, babe. Of course I will. So, Andrea wants to know about ingrowing hairs, ! My husband and sons often get them around their jawlines and necks, and embarrassingly, I can get them in my bikini line. How can we prevent them, and what's the best way to sort them out?
Okay, so most ingrowing hairs, when particularly around the jaw and the bikini area, is from shaving. When you're shaving against the grain, you're pushing those hairs back in, and so they kind of curl in on themselves and can't get out, and it causes inflammation around that hair follicle. So we see it a lot in men around kind of if they've got kind of buzz cuts around their neck, we see it there, jawline. Women, armpits, kind of intimate areas, we see a lot of it in. So I know it's hard to do. don't shave. Waxing is better. Waxing is better. I know it's
admin.
painful. I know it's painful.
Waxing admin. God,
What's waxing
Amir.
admin?
It's like you have to, basically it's a nightmare because you have to wait for it to grow long enough to wax. So that means there's like a danger zone where you really can't go on any sexy dates. There's no margaritas and nachos for me. So the admin of it, it's like having a PhD. You have to like be able to work out calendar dates. Yes, I can go on a date with you because I've just been waxed. Or
Okay.
No. Waxing is a pain.
Fair play.
It's a pain in the intimate area.
Okay, you can shave with the grain of the hair. That's the most important thing.
How that would
so kind of
work.
figure out which direction the hair is growing in and shave in that
wouldn't that
direction.
just not-
That's the difference between men and women. And we don't have to shave our armpits. We do a bit of manscaping.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Good, as you should.
But,
I mean, the stuff we have to do, bit of mansplaining. Not mansplaining. What do you call it? What's it?
manscaping.
Manscaping.
Yeah, just like a trim.
Don't manscape. I'm going to mansplain manscaping to you.
Yeah. What do women like a bit of manscaping?
Yes!
Good.
The ones that say they don't are lying.
Yeah.
FYI.
Yeah, I agree.
Just why not do a bit of gardening? It's good.
Yeah.
Everyone just nice, respectful.
Yes.
But so you would, if you were going to shave, you would go with the grain.
With the grain, yes. So
You need
downwards.
a very sharp razor for that.
Yeah, and you just have to get rid of the idea that you're going to get such a close shave. You're sacrificing that for not having ingrowing hairs.
And I always think get a really good shaving foam. They do help.
Yeah, and moisturise after. All of that
Yes.
stuff really is
Does that
important.
really help?
Yeah.
Moisturising? How does that help?
It can just reduce inflammation in the hair follicles by, giving it lots of hydration so it can sort itself out
Right.
afterwards.
Do you know what I love? I love having a little dig with my
Don't.
tweezers. Do you know, I'll tell you something. I actually love getting ingrown hair.
If
I
you're good at
literally love it. I'm like, yes!
If you're good at it, do it. Yes.
Go at it.
Yeah, most people just cause further damage though. But if
It
you can
feels
get
so
it,
good.
does it?
Yeah, and then when you can see the little hair like pop out, because it's like you say, it like curls in on
Yeah,
itself.
yeah.
If you really have a go with your tweezers, it goes bing.
Oh, okay. I have never done that.
I really love ingrown hair so much. Anyway,
There's your answer, Andrea. Just come and see Cherry. She'll dig it out for you.
I'm on my way Andrea, with my magic tweezers. All right, Rose 38. A couple of times I have slightly knocked a finger and it turns completely bruised, painful and swollen. It's like I've burst a vein with a tiny knock and it can last for days. Should I be worried? I feel like I don't want to see a GP about something so minor. You've so come to the right place.
You have. No appointment
It's a
necessary.
real actual doctor.
So if it's just happened the once, forget about it. It will get better on its own. But if you're getting persistent, unexplained bruising, so you're bruising for, just a slight brush against something, then that could be something serious. And I would see your GP. So you could have a blood clotting disorder, and there's plenty of them around. But more importantly, if you're getting unexplained bruising, it could be something like a leukemia or a lymphoma. You must go and see your GP for a blood test. And that's all you need, a simple blood test.
And it is really scary, something like that. But the sooner you go and see that, and I know it's really hard when there's something you're worried about having a serious diagnosis, but the sooner you go, the quicker you can get the help.
Yeah, or the reassurance, which is most likely
It might
what's
just
going to
be,
happen.
Look, it's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But if there is something more going on, the sooner you act on it,
Yeah.
which is hard, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, it's nearly time to wrap up. Do you have one magnificent health tip to give people?
Yes, I do. And I am practicing this myself. Anyone 40 plus should be doing strength training 3 times a week. We lose about 1% of our muscle mass each year after the age of 40. And so we need to maintain that, not just for health reasons, but it helps you maintain a healthy weight when you're strength training, reduces your risk of heart attacks, strokes, type 2 diabetes. Get lean, and it will really protect you going into the future. Your bones, your muscles, protect you from falls, all of that stuff as you get older. Everybody needs to be doing it, everything.
How heavy?
Well,
Do you need to be bench pressing your partner?
No, you can do body weight exercises, so body weight squats, press-ups, all of that stuff, all counts. You don't have to go to the gym, you can do them at home.
Just like a couple of press-ups?
I would say about 30 minutes 3 times a week.
That's so doable.
It's so doable, and it will keep you so healthy going forward. It reduces your risk of so many things. And we now know exercise, particularly strength training, can reduce your risk of dementia because there's a part of your brain called the hippocampus, which is responsible for memory, but it can grow new brain cells as well. And exercise is one of the stimulants for it to grow new brain cells. I mean, that's incredible. So get exercising, particularly strength training.
I mean, there's no downside to doing 10 squats, is there?
No.
None.
None at all. Just do them safely.
Well, that is all we've got time for on No Appointment Necessary, but we would really love to hear from you, so you can email us, WhatsApp us, write us a letter. We like to get post. All of the details for that are in the show notes.
And please follow us on Apple, Spotify, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's it for this week. No appointment necessary. See you next time.